Hey guys, welcome to the PaynePoints mini podcast. Wow, it's Friday. I haven't had enough coffee, and yeah, we're gonna we're gonna make it through it though. I'm Sarah Harbuck, your host, and today filling in for my would have been guest is Amanda Tucker. I had a lot of issues this week getting somebody recorded, so thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to hop on and do this with me. Let's get started with I already just said your name, but your age, where you're from, your kids, spouse, significant other, that story of your life.
Yeah. So I'm Amanda Tucker, and we just moved here to Apple Springs about a year ago. And I'm married to my husband, who I met in the military, actually in Afghanistan. We have a cool love story.
Oh, wow.
And we have two kids, Braden, Braden, who's 13, and Aria, who is 4.
So you have your hands full.
We are a crazy bunch, and it's always chaos. Yes, absolutely. Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, with my son, I'm like, you're 13, like you know better. She's only 4, but yet they still fight and argue, but yet love on each other like, every other kid with siblings. So
that's just sibling life, So tell everybody what you do for a living. We recorded actually a longer podcast with you earlier this week. So everybody stay tuned because she'll give more in detail with all that, but tell everybody what you do.
So I am a intimate portraiture photographer. I like to say intimate portraiture because people refer to me as like a boudoir photographer, but I like the prettier side of it. So intimate portraiture, photographer for women, just showcasing their beauty and where they are in life at this moment, and just capturing that is what I do, and I love it. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and it's like it fills my cup like no other.
So would you say that's like the best thing about your job, is that it just fills you with joy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It just showing a woman just how beautiful she is at that moment in her life. A lot of times women are like, well, I need to lose the weight, or I need to wait till this or that. And it's like, you just have to love yourself in the moment that you're in, because tomorrow's not promised, and I mean, I'm guilty of it. Even with my own shoots, I'm like, well, I got to lose some weight, but it's doing this has helped me love myself more and help me love on other women, just to, give ourselves grace and just love ourselves for where we are at this moment.
Yeah, that's great. What was the dream job that you wanted when you were a kid?
That's funny, because I remember growing up, and I don't even know where I got it. I don't know if it was like when I watched Free Willy, that I wanted to be a dolphin trainer, and I want to work with like whales and dolphins. I don't know if it was like going to SeaWorld when I was younger. So I remember like that. I wanted to do that. I don't know. And I hate the water. It's so funny. I was in the military in the Navy for 13 years, and I hate the ocean. I hate the water.
That's irony.
It doesn't make sense. But that, and a professional ice skater I wanted to be. I've never ice skated in my life, so I don't know.
I mean, when we're children, we have sometimes unrealistic expectations. So, but that's what makes the dreams so fun.
Yeah. Dreams.
Yeah. What do you do to start your day in a positive frame of mind to kind of get the day started off right?
Oh gosh. Well, I like to wake up. I like to wake up before everybody else. So I'm usually the first one up, and that's just to give myself some time to wake up, because I am not a morning person. And I don't do a lot of coffee, so it's not like I have to sit and like have my cup of coffee. I do drink it, but I'm not one of those people that are like, don't talk to me before I have my cup of coffee, because that's just not, I just have to have a moment to kind of gather my thoughts, think about what I need to do for the day. A lot of times I'll go ahead and log in to my ladies only Facebook group, and, chat with the women in there, responding to their comments and just trying to be positive. But then I also like to get into the gym because there's nothing like getting a workout in, getting those endorphins going, to help kind of kickstart your day.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Especially when you're chasing a 4-year-old around.
Yeah, definitely. You got to have all the energy you can possibly gab up. Yeah, anyway, we're going to move on. Is there a song that you really like that gets you pumped up either first thing in the morning, or say you get into that, I'm like at 1:30 in the afternoon, I get into that slump and I'm just like, I want to take a nap. Do you have something that you put on to kind of jazz you up?
I have a collection of songs on Pandora. Well, not songs, more like radio stations, like Stony LaRue radio. I like to listen to Skrillex. It all depends on like the mood that I'm feeling, but the song lately that's really, every time I hear it, it just kind of like, it feeds my soul, is Whiskey Myers Stone. And I don't know if it, because it reminds me of like Yellowstone, because we're a huge fan of Yellowstone, but it just like that comes on. And even though it's not like a pump me up, it just, I don't know, it's like just, it just feeds my soul when I hear it. I just feel warm and just, I can't even really explain it. Have you heard it?
I think I know what you mean. It's one of those that just, it doesn't necessarily have to like get you going, like, but it just does something to you when you hear it. So that works.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite like inspiring quote or collection of quotes?
I actually have a lot. Quotes always like have inspired me to kind of change my mindset on things. I've always been a fan of Marilyn Monroe quotes. And the one that she has is "Imperfection is beauty." Do you know that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, imperfection is beauty. Madness is, I had to write it down. Madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. I love that one from her.
Yeah. That is a good one. I do like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like we have so many imperfections, and that's our beauty. And like my husband, he always says, "You're so ridiculous." And I'm like, well, it makes life interesting. I'm kind of like that crazy chick or whatever. I was like, do you want me to be boring? So I just think that just kind of fits me, but I love it.
That's good. Are there what are your top 3 social media accounts right now that you really gravitate towards? Whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm a lot on Facebook more than I am Instagram. But I do get on Instagram quite a bit, and I'm really inspired by other boudoir photographers. So VC Boudoir, she's out in Austin. Victoria, I love her work. It is just dark and moody, and I don't know, it inspires me. I love looking at her stuff. Cara Marie, she's out of Austin too. She's another, her style's a little bit different. She's more of like a black and white women's photographer. Hers is very elegant. She's very inspiring. And then my mentor, Sean, she has Magnolia Studios out in Virginia. I like looking at her stuff. So I guess it's like other boudoir photographers. But the one that I really like on Facebook is the Birds Papaya. Have you seen her?
No. I'll have to check.
Heard of her? No. So she's like, she just talks about like loving yourself and how, social media can make you look a certain way. And, by looking at her like face on, you think, but she has imperfections too. She's actually pregnant right now. And she just talks about the imperfections that she has, that all women have. And I'm like, yes, like, and here you are like an influencer on social media, and you still have imperfections, and you're not perfect, and either are we. So I love following her stuff too.
Okay, that's really cool. I'll have to check that out.
The Birds Papaya.
Birds Papaya. Good.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody?
I know, it's kind of weird.
Do you have anybody that you look to as like a role model or a mentor? I mean, you mentioned photography, a mentor. Is there somebody else you'd like to talk
Mhm.
about?
Uh, no, so we have a friend of ours. His name's Luke. He's here locally. He Every time I'm around him, he's just so positive, and like hearing him talk, and it's funny how he starts his day off. His alarm goes off and he does the 5-second roll. So he counts down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he wakes up and he says it's showtime. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how he starts his day off. But every time around him, I like, he's just so full of energy, positivity, and uh, it doesn't matter if he's having a bad day or not, you cannot tell, but he's like somebody I'm like, gosh, can that rub off on me some days, but he would probably be another one. He's just, everybody that I've met, like, oh, Luke, he's great. He's so positive and uplifting, and sometimes he doesn't know his own personal space because he likes to be all, up on you. And but he's just a wonderful person that just has so much energy. That's awesome.
You need people like that in your life, I think, to kind of do the same,
Ew.
make you feel energetic too.
Yeah.
Well, what
He's really close
advice?
with my husband.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. We're
I was
dealing with
saying
internet
I
issues,
started the
guys,
delay,
in
I think
case you
it is.
can't tell.
Yeah. He's really close with my husband, and I know he'll send out like positive quotes in the morning, which I think is really cool, amongst our little guy group. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, kind of start everybody's day off with a positive note. So
Yeah. I wish I were one of those people that filled everybody else's life with positivity. And sadly, I need that from others. So, we all have our role to fill, right?
I'll start texting you.
um, well, on that note, what advice would you give or offer your younger self if you could talk to her right now?
Oh man, that it would probably just to love myself. I've always struggled with body image, not being good enough. I would tell my younger self, give yourself grace and just love yourself, because I think I really struggled with that growing up. Being a military child, always moving around, trying to find your spot, your people. The changes in life that I went through, you just have to give yourself grace and just love yourself at that moment.
Yeah, that's good advice for younger selves and our current selves, actually. Amanda,
Yeah,
why don't
not
you
to
tell
be so hard
everybody
on yourself. I mean,
where they can find you on social media?
on social media, Instagram, it's Amanda Tucker Photography. Same thing with Facebook as well.
Good
And
deal.
my website, amandatuckerphotography.com.
There we go. Awesome. Well, if everybody will stay tuned, in a couple of weeks, Amanda's long format podcast will be live, and you'll hear all the details about how she started her business and go a little bit more in depth of the work that she does. Amanda, thanks so much for popping on today and doing this with me last minute. And I hope you have a great
Thank
rest of your day and weekend.
you.